Hello, right now it is July 21st and it is 12:33 p.m. The thing that I have to really let the course know about, first of all, you have to notice the fact that my face looks really different. If you just look at my face from like 2, 3 days ago in the videos that I made, it looked really different in that one to how it looks right now. It looks really rough, scaly, dark, weird, and bad, and that is because of envy, and they're using their tools to make it look different, mainly because they get rejected by these girls every single day, and then they still go and beg them. So yeah, and they want to make my face look different, I guess, because the girls watch the videos. I have no clue, but or maybe they're scared that they might. But anyways, they make my face look different. The fact of the matter is, for like the past 2 days ago, 2 days from now, July 19th, July 20th, they have been getting rejected by these girls who have been threatening to call the police on people like Junaid, and they are incredibly embarrassed and humiliated. And you might be thinking, like, Hassan, how do you know this? Trust me, I did not have to be a genius on this one. If someone gets the police threatened on them once in a lifetime, it's a big enough deal. Junaid gets the police threatened on him, running off the girls and women that he never knew in his entire life and only found out about through me and through law enforcement, saying that girls that I might have known sometime in my life were running after me. Junaid getting extremely envious and then asking law enforcement for their contact info to try to stalk them, and then getting literally the girls to reject him every single day, and then him continuing to go run after them and beg them, and begging them to sleep with him, clearly showing that, for one, he's not lacking any social skills, because if he was, he definitely would not take it this far. We know this for a fact, and this autistic thing obviously is just BS, because there's no evidence behind it. Like, for me, with the June 24th being overanalyzed, for a fact that there's no such thing as an autistic person, a person with a brain savant who isn't autistic. I mean, it could be possible you get a head injury or something like that, but you have, like, literally what I call the time machine, and they checked it on January 20th, exactly how the evolution part of my brain savant started when I was a 9-year-old child. I call it the time machine just because of that. Well, anyways, the thing about it is just the fact that they're getting brutally rejected by these girls who are threatening to call the police on someone like Junaid, who was initially running scams on these girls, and they're telling them that he was the CEO, when in reality he was working the same job as my sister, getting the same amount, and trying to get an early retirement every single year. And obviously I would know that he was getting an early retirement because his mother would go and start baking cookies for my sister right away. Yeah. And obviously this year he's going to get one. There's no other way out. And so he tried to scam these girls and tell them that he was like the CEO or something. And like, law enforcement told these girls that too. And in reality, he was getting paid the same amount, working the same job as my sister. Someone told the girls that he wasn't, and that he was lying about everything, making his whole thing up, and that he got paid the same amount as my sister, did the same exact job. He was never the CEO of anything. So he gets scared of, obviously, like a sex addict would. He gets scared that he's gonna lose sex over it, so he quickly calls the girls as soon as they find out. And not only does he tell them that he's not the CEO, he also tells them that he gets paid the exact same amount as my sister, does the exact same job. Not only does he do that, he also tells the girls that he gets into fights at work every single day, and that he's getting an early retirement. He only does this so that he could tell everything to the girls himself in his own way, so that when the girl would find out from the same person who told her that he wasn't a CEO, that he could tell his own story his own way before that person would, thereby giving away the entire story. Well, right now, yeah, and then talk about scamming and defrauding and lying. After the girls would find out that, well, when the girls didn't know about it, law enforcement would tell the girls stuff like, Hassan just found out he's the CEO and he's really jealous. Like, Hassan's really jealous. And I'm like thinking in my mind, like, I know he's not, and this entire thing is such a lie. And then Junaid would add on to that, and he'd be like, I was gonna tell everyone about this, but now I was gonna try to hide this, but now that they find out, I guess I'll have to tell. Like, these people are liars liars, fraudsters, and scammers. And now we finally found out who the sexual predator was and who wasn't. Mainly due to the fact that they've been threatening to take oil out of my car every single, like almost every day, especially July 19th. What happened on July 19th was that yeah, basically July 18, it was like, by July 18, it was like, they got like some envious people from like my overseas pharmacy school to claim that I wasn't smart or this or that, blah, blah, blah. The reason they had to use them, I mean, they could have used anyone to like say these things. They're narrating with people that have nothing to do with anything that anyone could have said around me as a child. So they could have just used people over here in the US, but they didn't. And there's a simple reason to that. If they use my dad, the greedy framer, to say that I'm not smart or something, the courts are just going to be like, sir, you've been lying since day one over and over and over again. By now, you've costed us a government informant to be employed around you. You've costed us, you and your framer sister, you've costed us phone conversations to be retrieved. And right now, you're obviously lying, or you're playing two different sides of the game over here. On the one hand, you're saying his brain savant doesn't exist. On the other hand, you're sending him illegal assurance of money all day and night long in the millions of euros and asking him to commit incest with your sister on February 11th and March 7th, even though you're told on February 11th that it is open advertisement for incest, and yet on March 7th, 2026, you're asking him if he could commit incest with your sister before giving you illegal assurances of money. And excuse me, on top of that, you're also asked, like, he was sending me like basically sexually explicit pictures, not just, all right, so for the greedy framer is one, okay, he lost his shame after finding out about the money potential for my brain savant and seeing that he was caught twice. So after February 10th, he was caught twice lying. My dad, the greedy framer, was. So after February 10th, he's told by the courts, like, look, Mr. Ansar, we know you're lying, and how we know we're not going to tell you? Obviously his framer sister told government informant everything. You get a free car mechanic to come work on your house. You're not just going to work on November 20th. They're going to be like, look, we have more lies. Can you help us with those as well? There you go. And they confess to everything. So basically that is what happened. And so this greedy framer, my dad, the greedy framer, basically, when he found out about the money, he wanted to enviously lock it up. Like, we never got along. I don't like him. He doesn't like me. I never lived with him, and even in the same country before in my entire life. And yeah, the thing that you have to remember is the fact that, you know, we talk once every 5 years or so, or once a year. My mother taught me to be very polite, respectful towards people, so I don't like him. But if he could text me, I will text back really nicely and politely. In the year 2025, he was texting me like every other day. It was kind of clear. And then if I would pick up, he'd be like, can you come over to my house? Like a psychomaniac. Like, come over to my house. Come over to my house. Come over to my house. Like, it was so obvious he knew about it. So after that, I just started ignoring his phone call because obviously he knew about the brain savant. We never got along. He never wanted me to live in his house. Like it's just like, you stay your own thing. Like, leave me the heck alone. And I was just really respectful and polite. Well, anyways, he got the message really quickly that I was ignoring him because I knew that he knew about my brain savant, and he started blackmailing me with law enforcement right away the next day, trying to say that I'm narrating against you in this trial, and because I know you know that I know about your brain savant and you're not going to give me any money. Well, June 28th, 2025 occurs, and what ends up happening is the psychomaniac loses the case. And then he went berserk. He went bananas. Like, the guy's like psychopath. Like, June 29th, father-son ads all day long. He's calling my sister and going like, I cry on my free time thinking about Hassan. And then he would call my sister on July 18th and be like, I feel like the baby Hassan just born right now. The guy went pretty crazy. Like, he was just like, I want the money, basically. And November 1st occurs, and he asked my sister again. He's like, can you ask him if he could go with me? Like, no, I'm not going with you anywhere. Leave me the heck alone. I don't like you. You don't like me. We used to talk once every 5 years. And how did this happen? You know, it's that sort of thing. Obviously, he found out about the money. He went crazy over it, and the second he gets kicked out of the witness stand on December 29th, 2025 is when the motive came out. Exactly at 1:27 p.m. he sends me a Ria money transfer ad. So like, and then after that, like, he just thought, man, all our lives are all wasted. Well, they were wasted in a good way till then, because now he begged the courts to let him narrate again, and the courts let him narrate. And when they did, he said the same lies that his framer sister had already told the government informant before November 20th, that we have more lies that we have planned against Hassan, even after November 20th, to make sure that his brain savant money that he's not going to give us, no one else gets it either. And now he was telling the same exact lies that were already told to the government informant before November 20th, that these were lies. And so, as soon as the courts tell him on February 10th, 2026, that we know these are lies. How we know, we're not going to tell you, but we know these are lies. He went he went crazy. 3:17 a.m. Well, first of all, 12:22 a.m. February 11th, he texts and he says, "So nice to hear from you after so long." And like the only hearing we were having the entire day, February 10th, was me telling the courts this man is a pathological liar. He's obsessed with money and he knows about the brain savant money. Basically, the brain savant money is a lot. Okay, let's just put it that way. It's a lot. Like, I have instantaneous photographic memory. Not just that, I also have innovation, and I also have focusing, which literally means that focusing means I don't have to take a single second's break, as you saw on August 9, 2022, with the Brain Savant test brain scanner results. And innovation, like literally, I would be getting done something like 5-hour energy drink with Manoj Bhargava got done in one lifetime, and like every 30 days, I'd be done with it. Obviously, I've got innovation, superhuman power, and now you find out with the recent reanalyzation that these are superhuman powers, and it's not just like his brain savant's not that powerful. So that, like how they say with their envy, like every autistic brain savant is extremely powerful. That's a self-contradictory statement, concerning the fact that the definition of a brain savant is someone with superhuman powers, obviously, and like, yeah. So February 11th, the guy, like, obviously he knows everything about it, and that's why he's been going crazy all 2025, because he's not gonna have any money. He's gonna be sitting there without a job, and my mother is gonna be like chauffeured around everywhere, and like he's like literally like 6 months after my brain savant gets freed. He knows that really well, and he is literally like he's been going crazy. So February 11th, he was just like, I've been caught lying. Hassan knows everything, because he was blackmailing me since 2025 when he was started narrating. He's like, I've been caught lying. Hassan knows everything, so I'm gonna get Hassan somehow. So what he starts doing is absolutely disgusting. Man with a 5-foot-long beard is sending me incest requests for his sisters, and that too. That's Ibrahim the Greedy Framer spokesperson's mother as well. February 11th, 3:56 a.m. The guy basically, he went crazy. Okay, he found out that he'd been lying a lot, and that the courts knew about everything, and that governments are not stupid. They're like, if you play with their national security for your envious motives, they will find out what the real motive is, what the real story is, what the heck is going on over here. And they found out, and they got everything out of the Greedy Framer's Ibrahim spokesperson's mother, everything out of her, out of before November 20th. So basically what ended up happening, and like, if there would be any bad guys, anyone who could have even remotely have said anything bad, let's say it would be Uncle Joey. Law enforcement would be such good BFFs with Uncle Joey since 2001 that when they help him with sex scheme ads at the funeral in 2023, even though I wasn't there at the funeral, you would think this guy was like a sitting governor or something. Like the governor would be like pissed. Like, who is this guy, Uncle Joey? He gets all this top-notch intelligence. You guys provide him with protocol, like this and that. Like, it's just like, look, man, they've been sleeping with his in-laws, and it's been going on since 2001. Like, I didn't have to be a genius to crack this one, okay? So basically, yeah. And all these people in the family, basically what they wanted was, they were just like, this guy, Hassan, who literally grew up in poverty in our family, like, yeah, is not going to become a billionaire in front of our own eyes while we're basically struggling and beating our kids to make 6-figure salary. They're literally beating their kids to make a 6-figure salary somehow, one way or another. They're going to be forced to watch me become a billionaire. They're like, not on our watch. This is definitely not happening. And that's why they were like enviously making all these false testimonies against me before November 20th. And the government informant must have been like, man, this lady, like Ibrahim the Greedy Framer spokesperson's mother, like he must have been like, she's got like the entire thing planned out. Like he must have gone back to the government, and he was probably just like, this lady's got everything planned out. Like, they've been doing this planning for a long time, only because, so basically after February 10th, my dad, the greedy framer, obviously he knew about the money potential and how much money there was. And he was not gonna, like, now that he knew that the court knew he was a liar, fabricator, he's not gonna let go that easily of the money. Now that he sees that it's gonna get freed, he wants to do it at any way, shape, or form. Get that money to me any way, shape, or form. I don't care about the 10 feet long beard that I've been growing for my entire life, that basically is a sign of being spiritual and a good, pure person. Forgets everything. Finds out about the money. February 10th, he's been told by the courts, like, Mr. Ansar, not only did we find out about November 20th being completely false, we also know that you guys have been fabricating these false testimonies and that you had been planning for a very long time. Obviously, like, this is a government and you're talking about people, not your mom and pop shop outside your house. You play with their national security. You go and tell them that you are going to use the fear of bad people doing bad things in order to achieve your dirty motives of enviously locking up my brain savant just so that my mother could not get the money that he couldn't get. Well, the governments are going to find out exactly what was that was going on. And the fact of the matter is, even if let's say right now they're going to say that some child, like me as a child, someone might have said something bad around me, that person is never going to be my mother, first of all, because mothers are not going to say something stupid around their child, obviously, and it would never be in a setting where my mother is even there, obviously, and it would only be while I'm his child, obviously. Like, these are common sense facts. Check back on the facts and evidence, you'll find that I'm telling the truth. It would be when I'm a child. It would never be my mother saying it. It would never be with my mother being around me either. Obviously, a mother is not going to let that happen. That clearly means that it was due to the force and necessity of a mother, since after I gained the slightest bit of mental maturity, I was never seen in any setting where anything remotely considered bad could have been said around me. So clearly she was telling the truth when I was an 11-year-old child. Well, the person who could have been saying something bad, like Uncle Joey, would have been BFFs with law enforcement since 2001, with law enforcement running sex schemes with Uncle Joey's in-laws. We found that out at the November 2023 funeral, where I didn't have to be a genius to know that their BFF ship started in 2001, and it wasn't like a day old. Obviously, they were providing Uncle Joey with top-notch intelligence, telling him when to text to get the baby that I'm babysitting out of my face, and providing Uncle Joey with top-notch intelligence on everything, giving him protocol that a governor is supposed to get in this country. This BFF ship started in 2001. So basically, that is what the story was. Not only were these people fabricating false testimonies against me, hoping that all the people in law enforcement were corrupt, but the people who could have even remotely have said or anything bad around me, which is literally the only thing left for them to have to say right now, due to the fact that all their lies are all caught. That person would have been a BFF of law enforcement since 2001, and that person, like Uncle Joey, would have been someone that I wouldn't have seen since I was a child, despite law enforcement trying very hard to try to get a sex scheme ad with Uncle Joey with me numerous times in my life. So basically, yeah. And so the person I haven't even seen since I was a child, and if it was anyone else who could have said something, well, that would never say it around me when I was no longer a child, mainly because now he's no longer a child or mentally mature enough he could report me, and I'm not going to say something around him that's going to get me reported because he has mental maturity now. And how do we know that I'm telling the truth is due to the fact that you will see from facts and evidence that even if I was around anyone after getting slightest bit of mental maturity as a child, the person would never say anything stupid around me. Obviously, children cannot report anything, but once you gain the slightest bit of mental maturity, you would understand good from bad, bad from good environments, and you would report something. So basically, yeah, my dad, the greedy farmer, he was all about money. So at February 11th, he's sending me incest requests with his sister Farah through 17 a.m. after texting me 22 minutes past midnight. Then through 56 a.m., incest requests with Ibrahim, the greedy farmer spokesperson's mother. Like, seriously, this guy's gone crazy. And then March 7th, he sends me incest requests for Farah, the greedy farmer, even though he was told on February 11th that these are incest requests. And then the 3 times on March 7th, 2026, and then March 10th, he's sending me sexually explicit pictures of his other sister, Afreen, March 10th and every single day afterwards to try to get me to commit incest with his sister to give him a legal assurance of money. Like, no, thank you. My money's my money, and we have our plans with our money, and I'm not sharing. Whatever happened is how it's gonna happen. Like, once 5 years is once 5 years. Whoever knew me, however they knew me, is how they're gonna know me. We're not changing that. But yeah, so basically, yeah. So obviously they're not gonna have someone like him say anything bad about me anymore, because obviously he has the envy shown from his lies and then the greed shown from him trying to sell his sisters for sex. So they're not gonna have someone like Farrah the Greedy Framer either, since Farrah the Greedy Framer they're not letting me talk. Farrah the Greedy Framer has sent me 52 total marriage requests for her abnormal looking daughter Zara, and she has sent me 51 forced marriage requests in the past month, and she has also sent me 37 requests for prenup marriage blackmails. Basically, I already labeled it July 6th, 2026, this month, July 6th, as this being a prenup marriage scam blackmail, where the person basically gets you to sign a prenup, and when you run away after the trial is done, they harass you in court like how she's doing right now. And then basically for the rest of your life, they just keep asking for that money. Like for Farrah the Greedy Framer, her favorite amount is $60 million, which she sent me 8 times after February 21st, like $60 million, $60 million, $60 million. Will you give me $60 million? She's really incessant with her demand, like right now, the daughter thing. Yeah, 8 times at least, like, I get the point. You want $60 million, I understand. And obviously she would write that in the prenup agreement, and then obviously I would run away from her abnormal looking weirdo daughter as soon as the trial would be done, and then she's gonna harass me for the rest of my life, obviously. And I labeled it as such on July 6th. And after July 6th, she sent me 37 of those prenup marriage scam to try to force me to sign this prenup marriage scam for her, for probably her $60 million, excuse me, to try to get me to do that for her. Like, it's just kind of like, you know, these people and their motives are very clear. And like recently, what ended up happening was one of the people who weren't yet caught lying was Adamji and Maruk, because everyone over here is just all over money. And they were all over money, every single one of them, and they were enviously trying to lock it up, while at the same time they couldn't control their greed. So they're trying to get their daughter married, they're trying to send me blackmail price tags, thinking that they've been caught lying too many times, his brain savant's gonna get freed, let's check with the brain center if we could get the money or not. And so, yeah, so recently, what happened was, the only people who weren't caught lying yet was Adamji and Maruk from my overseas pharmacy school, even though the person in law enforcement who was basically trying to use them to get them to help him make lies and false testimonies against me was a person in law enforcement whose money I've been trying to end with the government since 2022, telling the government for the past 4 years, like, look, these people in law enforcement, they have a person whom they sent the unemployment disability money to using their BFFs over here that they're not supposed to be doing, and the person gets the money every month. And he was trying to go from one person to another. So he got one person, Abdullah, to make a group chat false testimony against me. And it's irrelevant if I ever talked to these people or not in my life when I was in pharmacy school. It's just like the same as the child from elementary school who testified in mid-January 2026 that I said anti-government things to him. After he's done testifying against me, they would just be like, you were friends with him in elementary school. It doesn't matter. It's irrelevant. He committed a crime against me by making this false testimony against me. Same thing over here in pharmacy school, overseas pharmacy school, whether I knew the person or not is irrelevant. He made a false testimony against me, knowing that it was a false testimony that I had absolutely nothing to do with, which was the group chat false testimony against me. And he basically gave it to that person in law enforcement who gets some money every month from the unemployment disability fraud. And that person in law enforcement basically then gives it to the law enforcement over here. And so now you have that same person pointing over to Adamji and Maruk. Now, the thing about Adamji and Maruk is just the fact that, yeah, they were extremely envious of me. Adam G would spend all day long from morning till night trying to convince the girls over here that were running after me, not just that my brain savant doesn't exist, but also that he's a really rich guy. The girl would pick up a calculator and use common sense, Google the currency difference between over here and over there, and find out that $1 is 300 rupees, which means that the currency is badly depleted and worthless, pretty much. And so then she would go and ask law enforcement, and she would be like, well, this guy claiming to be rich, how rich is he? And law enforcement would just tell her, like, if you earn minimum wage, he gets paid less than you do. And so the story just ends right there. So Adam G was extremely envious, and he wanted to make false testimonies against me. And so did Maruk. And they were working with the same person in law enforcement who gets the money every month and who fabricated the group chat false testimony, along with Abdullah as well. And so what ended up happening was Abdullah could not make it anymore. His BFFs right over here, Adam G and Maruk, were doing so now due to extreme envy. Now, these people were, Adam G and Maruk were caught literally 10 days ago on July 11th, further fabricating a false testimony. In his haste from July 10th, these people were running after a woman their mother's age, waiting at the mother's girl like Ibrahim the Greedy Framer, a Junaid trying to come in front of, behind my car cameras, getting the police call on them by woman their mother's age. Not just that, her son, who's literally only 2 years younger than me, had to call the police on him. Obviously, like, what the heck is going on? And apart from that, Ibrahim, the Greedy Framer spokesperson, ends up in the emergency room every single week overdosing on street drugs. So they had to use both of these things and say them about me. Well, they're not going to have the people begging me to marry their daughter to say this now, are they? So they had to get someone else. And so they went to my overseas pharmacy school and tried to say sexually perverted things about me, or say that I'm a drug addict, and they get caught. Exactly 10 days ago, July 11th, today's 21st of July, exactly 10 days ago, they're found spoon-feeding each other lies, fabrications about me, telling each other lies, fabrications about me, in their haste to try to make up lies about me, to try to cover over the fact that they were getting rejected by a woman their mother's age, literally the day before on July 10th, and getting the police called on them by their sons, and cover over the fact that Ibrahim, the Greedy Framer spokesperson, was ending up in the emergency room overdosing on street drugs once a week. So both of these people were both caught, both Adam G and Maruk. Now, the thing about it is just the fact that they might have been caught now, but right before they were caught, before July 11th, they were saying all kinds of things about me out of extreme envy, that I wasn't smart and this and that, only because they were getting rejected by these girls, and really badly, and they needed someone to say this. Obviously, they're not going to have someone over here in the U.S. who's begging me to marry their daughter while at the same time enviously narrating against me, which included pretty much everyone. Ibrahim's sister was sent March 9th, April 11th, his mother sent me requests for her sister. For the Greedy Framer, every single day, her daughter requests, marriage requests. Miss Deb for her daughter, who was married. My dad, the Greedy Framer, money requests all day, every day, for millions of euros, and even tried incest with his sisters in order to get illegal assurance of money. So they're not going to have these people claim that my brain savant isn't powerful enough to make me extremely rich. So what they did was, these people, Maruk and Adam G, who weren't yet caught yet lying, and who were basically not asking me to marry their sister or their daughter, or do anything of that sort, like blackmail me with price tags of millions of dollars. These people were, obviously they knew about my brain savant as well. They are extremely envious of the fact that these girls are running after me, though. But they're literally the only people that could say anything about my brain savant, that I'm stupid and this and that, blah, blah, blah. They're the only ones who could say it. Why is that? Because every single person else has already tried to get me married to their sister's daughter, send me blackmail price tags, try to get me to sleep with their sister, like my dad, the Greedy Framer, to sleep with his own sister, commit incest in order to give illegal assurance of money. So now there are only two people that could claim that I'm really stupid. Adam G and Maruk, who were found 10 days ago to be fabricating everything. But before they were found, and while these girls are running after me, there are only two people who haven't yet been found to be fabricating. They were found to be fabricating 10 days ago on July 11th. But before July 11th, it was Adam G and Maruk, who weren't yet caught. and the girls were still running after me. So they got Adam G and Marwick to basically claim that I was really stupid, this and that, because they were the only people who could claim this, till July 11th. Because July 11th, obviously, they're caught as well, fabricating enviously false testimonies, lies, spoon-feeding each other lies, made up stories about me. But told, like, before July 11th, basically, yeah, these are the only two people left till now. Till July 11th, they're the only ones left that can say this, who haven't sent me blackmail price tags for millions of dollars or euros, haven't asked me to marry their daughter or sister, didn't ask me if I wanted to commit incest with his sister like my dad, the greedy farmer, did in exchange for the millions of euros that he was sending me blackmail price tags for. Till July 11th, these people were basically they were basically the only ones who could claim that I was stupid in order to undo the girls running after me like crazy all day, due to which, you know, I could open up the blinds and show Kelly from law enforcement and all her BFFs that they've just gotten a police call on them yesterday, or threatened to have to do so on Junaid yesterday and the day before yesterday. Obviously, the humiliation is fairly easily seen. Like, the guys wouldn't dare go by my road out of feeling humiliated that the police was called yesterday and the day before. And yeah, the only people who would go by my road would be girls, and I would look at their faces and I would feel like a pervert. Like, you just gotta close the blinds now, man. Like, you get the point what happened. All right, so basically, yeah, so Adam G and Maru claimed this, and what ended up happening was they claimed that I was really stupid. They were the only ones who could claim it. Till that time, till July 11th, till 10 days ago, they were the only ones. So they basically claimed what no one else could claim about me being stupid. And then after July 10th, obviously they claimed that I was sexually perverted and a drug addict, because the day before I told everyone that they were sexually perverted, getting rejected by a woman their mother's age, waiting at the mother's girl, and then trying to come in my car camera on July 10th to make an advertisement for these girls. And then also at the same time, I also told everyone that Ibrahim, the greedy farmer spokesperson, is basically a drug addict who ends up in the emergency room every single week. So basically, July 11th, they had to basically do the same thing that I said about them, say about me, to try to get revenge, except it would be all fabricated. And while they were fabricating, they get caught on July 11th, badly caught on July 11th. All these things were false. Sexually perversions, drug addiction, everything was all fully made up. They were fabricating amongst themselves and telling each other about it. So basically, yeah, before then, it was just, before July 11th, they also had to get someone to claim that I was really stupid due to the fact that there were all these girls running after me, and every single person, everyone else except for Adam G and Maruk were basically narrating, while at the same time trying to force me to marry their daughter. Miss Dev was trying to force me to marry her already married daughter. Farah the greedy farmer trying to force me to marry her daughter. Even till yesterday, July 20th. Yesterday, I received 2 requests for her daughter. And for the greedy farmers, obviously her daughter, and then Ibrahim's sister tried on March 9th and April 11th, and so and my dad, the greedy farmer spokesperson, he was trying to get me to commit incest with his sisters after February 10th, after he was caught lying twice, the second time, and also he sent me blackmail price tags, basically saying, you offer me this money, you sleep with my sisters. Guy with the 5-foot long beard saying this. So these people could not claim that I was stupid. So they basically had Adam G and Maru claim this, and they had them claim this before July 11th when they were caught fully fabricating. So basically what ended up happening was they claimed it really well, I gotta say, to the point that the people in law enforcement got a little greedy, and people in law enforcement, basically what ended up happening was they just asked Adam, he must have been really good at trying to claim that I was really stupid. And obviously they keep repeating the lies over and over again, and so before he was obviously caught fabricating. So till July 11th, it wasn't a surety thing that Adam G was extremely envious of me making up lies and fabrications. July 11th, him and Maru get caught. basically making up everything, fabricating everything, making up lies, spoon feeding each other, fabricating everything gets caught on July 11th. But before July 11th, obviously Adamji was really envious, and he was getting rejected by these girls himself because he would claim to the girls that he was really rich, and she would pick up a calculator and Google. And the currency over there was 300 rupees for every dollar. So she would go ask law enforcement, like, he claims to be really rich, and law enforcement would just tell her, like, their currency is so depleted that if he was well off, he would be getting paid less than a person earning minimum wage in this country. If he was well off, if he was doing well. If he was doing well, he would be getting paid less than someone earning minimum wage in this country if he was doing well. Well, no guarantee that he actually is doing well, considering the fact that their currency, their economy is basically in shambles right now. Basically Adamji claimed and Maru claimed that I was really stupid. Law enforcement seeing this as an opportunity due to the fact that these girls were not listening to them, and law enforcement were basically threatening to break my car if I didn't go and sleep with these girls and pass them around. Do I look like that kind of guy? So do I look like that kind of idiot? Like, seriously, I have 3 people trying to scam me for, Ibrahim, the Greedy Farmer spokesperson, July 18 for his sister, for the Greedy Farmer spokesperson, 2 of her daughters now, Miss Dev for her daughter. Like, I'm not going to add, like, a 4th person, not saying anything bad about these girls, but seriously, I have enough problems. So basically, law enforcement was basically threatening to break my car and stuff if I didn't help with the scams, is how desperate they were. I still wasn't going to help because it's not something I do, and it's not something I can do. Let's say I wanted to do it. Can I do it? No. I have 3 people trying to scam me. I'm not going to add a 4th in there. Not saying these girls are bad or anything, but still, put yourself in my position. Like, look at how these prenup marriage scams are coming to me. At least 37 since July 6th. That's like 15 days from today, 37 requests to sign a blackmail threat to give her money after I run away from her daughter. I'm not running after any girl. I'm good, thank you for asking. So basically, that is what was going on. And so what law enforcement ended up doing was they got a little greedy. And they're like, we have a brain savant test from June 24th. Let's just reanalyze it. Let's overanalyze it. And then what we're going to do is we might find some flaws in his brain savant. Really stupid thing to do, by the way. Like, read a book for once. Like, I gotta tell law enforcement, like, read a book. Like, seriously, just read a book for once. Like, seriously, these people don't know what they're doing. Brain savants are extremely more powerful than normal human beings. Like, you're not gonna, like, reanalyze that thing after it was freed while you were testing it out and find flaws in it that you're gonna compare to a normal human being and be like, that part of his brain savant is not as powerful as normal human being. No, not happening. Brain savants are thousands of times more powerful than normal human beings. You're not gonna analyze that and try to find flaws in it in comparison to a normal human being. Are you, like, stupid or something? Like, I just wanted to ask law enforcement, like, are you guys, like, retarded or something? Like, they're analyzing someone with a brain savant to try to find flaws to prove that person's brain savant is less powerful than normal human being. Like, read a book. Like, seriously, just go read a book for once. I am begging you. So, like, literally what ended up happening was they reanalyzed it out of their, they got a little greedy and then they reanalyzed it. Because if I show you how bad it is right now, I open up the balcony right now and I show it to you how bad it is. Like, even if they know that I'm standing there recording, they still won't pass their cars because they are so badly humiliated. Like, the Indian neighbors had to walk their child like 2 days ago, and the entire time they were looking the other side because they're not on my side, and they felt really humiliated. That's how badly humiliated these people are right now from having the police call on Junaid or threaten to do so every single day. You get that done once in a lifetime. It's enough to never go near a girl ever again. It happens to Jeanette every single day, and these people in law enforcement are extremely humiliated due to it. Well, anyways, the results of the June 24th brain savant test from last month was reanalyzed, and obviously he found the obvious. I just want to ask these people in law enforcement, are you guys stupid or something? Seriously, read the definition of what a brain savant is. Someone with superhuman powers above normal human beings. Trying to claim that this person's brain savant is less capable than a normal human being would be a self-contradictory statement on its own. So basically, they wanted to prove the impossible, which was that me and my brain savant was not as powerful and capable as a normal human being. So they reanalyzed June 24th, only to find out that it was, and every single thing that I said about my brain savant was absolutely true. You can't make this stuff up. Yes, I'll get done more than 1,000 pages of something like Arenball's medicinal chemistry, which I always use that as an example because it's the most dry textbook I know of right now. Arenball's medicinal chemistry, more than 1,000 pages of anything. Literally the entire thing. If it's 1,500 pages, I'll get that done cover to cover in less than a day's time, which means that in 30 days I'll have 30,000 pages, more than that actually, which means that if my innovation is also a superhuman power, then I would get something like zero tolerance coffee, or the 5-hour energy drink that Manoj Bhargava made. Once in a lifetime I could get that done every 30 days if what artificial intelligence said is true. And the artificial intelligence is not my BFF that's been lying for me over and over again, and nor am I psychic enough to know what it's saying without anyone telling me what the report says, clearly showing that I'm telling the truth. Except for that, you also have the fact that 3 days ago on July 18, Ibrahim, the Greedy Framer spokesperson, was basically advertising his sister to me 3 days ago, which basically obviously meant that June 24th was obviously reanalyzed. That is just, it's a given. I know this for a fact. If he's trying to get me to marry his sister 3 days ago, I'm trying to find that ad. Well, yeah, there it is. So if he's trying to get me to marry his sister 3 days ago on July 18, then obviously the June 24th was reanalyzed, only finding out that I've been telling the truth all along. So this is July 18, 11:22 a.m. This is the picture over here. Okay. It doesn't look anything like his sister, but these pictures are the kinds of pictures that I was getting all day and night long on July 18 to be him advertising his sister to me. So basically, yeah, that kind of gave it away. If he's advertising his sister to me, then obviously, and as soon as that comes out, obviously, Fur the Greedy Framer goes berserk. That woman goes crazy, and she is now advertising 2 of her daughters to me. She's advertising 2 of her daughters to me instead of just 1, and not just advertising. If this woman was not dressed up like a nun, and if this woman, she's not just advertising, okay? These advertisements, I wouldn't if she wasn't dressed up like a nun, if she wasn't in a court case where she's claiming that that my brain savant should get locked up because I'm a very bad person and apparently aggressive, or whatever they want to claim about me. You're not going to marry someone who's aggressive to your daughter, only claiming due to the fact that all your lies have already been caught, and saying bad things about me are the only things that you can now say about me. So basically, yeah, while she's claiming all of this, while she's in court, while she's dressed up like a nun, while she's trying to claim that my brain savant shouldn't get released at any cost, she finds out, the Greedy Framer finds out about June 24th being reanalyzed, finds out that I can literally get done in a month what normal human beings get done in a lifetime, like Manoj Bhargava's 5-hour energy drink, and they just sit down and they just eat off of that for the rest of their life. I could get that done in 30 days with the June 24th brain savant test result coming out. And if you want to argue against that, give me a 30-minute test. Don't argue without a test. Don't argue without a test. Give me a 30-minute test, and then we'll argue about it. In fact, after the 30-minute podcast, you don't have to argue. You could just laugh at me. If I'm not Kim Peek Rain Man, if my innovation is not as good as I claim it is using the brain scanner, you could just laugh at me. There's no need to argue after that. But yeah, so Fur the Greedy Framer finds out that I could get done in 30 days what normal human being gets done in a lifetime, like 5-hour energy drink. And Manoj Bergala got done in like a lifetime, and he just ate off of it for the rest of his life. I could get done in 30 days. These people got really greedy. Ibrahim is advertising his sister on July 18, like how I just showed you. And Fur the Greedy Framer, who's really like, she goes for things that she really wants. She starts advertising 2 of her daughters to me on July 14th, starting July 14th. And you can ask law enforcement. They will tell you that she asked them to advertise her 2 daughters to me. But you got to remember the fact that Fur the Greedy Framer dresses up like a nun. And Fur the Greedy Framer is testifying, like narrating in a trial where she's already been caught a million times lying over and over and over and over again. November 20th was her involvement. Government informants saw her involved in it, and it was false testimony. After that, the false testimony is already confessed to the government informant as being false. Then after that, early April 2026, she aggressively pushed forward lies. Already phone conversations retrieved, complete total lies. You know, so basically, Fur the Greedy Framer around July 14th is advertising 2 of her daughters to me. She's dressed up like a nun. She's made numerous lies against me, and also she's dressed up like a nun. She's numerous lies against me, and she's narrating in the trial, claiming that my brain savant should not get released at any cost. And at the same time, she's advertising 2 of her daughters to me. Basically saying, well, if your brain savant's going to get freed, marry my daughter, which doesn't make any sense, because basically, according to her court narration, where she's claiming that I'm a person intending on mischief or something like that, obviously she's not going to say good things about me. It's basically saying, son, please marry my daughter till you become a very bad person. Just marry her. Pick one of the 2 daughters that I'm giving you, and till you become a very bad person, just marry my daughters. Does that make any sense to you? I don't think so. It doesn't make any sense to me, since no one would want a person whom they think is a bad person, who could be a bad person, to be marrying their daughter in the first place. But this woman, Fur the Greedy Framer, who dresses up like a nun. Let me show you the kind of picture she sends me. July 14, 8:51 a.m. Okay, look at the picture. All right. It's just, let me show it to you. It's incredible. Like, the woman she's basically dressed up like a nun. She dresses up like a nun, and this is a picture she's sending me of her daughters. Like, look at the girl in the blue. Look at the girl in the blue. Look at her bottom. Okay. Look at the girl in the gray. Look at her top. This is what the nun is sending me, basically, saying that marry my daughter request. This is what a woman dressing up like a nun is sending me. So the girl in the gray, look at her top, and the girl in the blue, look at her bottom. Basically, clearly showing from facts and evidence is that this woman is only after money. Enviously lock up my brain savant. You have 52 requests for me to marry her daughter, out of which 51 are forced requests for me to marry her daughter. 37 are known prenup marriage scam blackmails, since they're all after July 6th, these being labeled as being absolute scam for me to sign this prenup. And her narration against me doesn't make any sense, because then the narration's entire sentence should say, I think Hassan's a really bad person. But I'm sending him requests to marry my daughter, saying, Hassan, will you please marry my daughter, you bad person, aggressive human being. Marry my daughter, please, till you become a bad person. Because I'm narrating in the court that you are a bad person and that you're more inclined to be a bad person in the future. So marry my daughter till you become a very bad person. Like, does that make any sense to you? No. She's basically narrating after enviously trying to lock up my brain savant, using complete and total lies and fabrications over and over again. And now she wants me to be forced into at least signing a prenup agreement so she could get that $60 million that she blackmailed me with price tags at least 8 times since February 21st, 2026. Yeah, so right now, basically the video is to try to tell you that these people, everyone is out. Everyone is out. including the people overseas like Adamji and Maruk, who were just caught 10 days ago. So now they need to get someone new. And that someone new is going to be someone like Bushra Akhtar. Bushra Akhtar is more involved in everything that anyone could ever be, ever. And I'm going to make another video about Bushra Akhtar now to let you know about Bushra Akhtar now. Okay? Please. Thank you.